George Shasterson got married again.
Yeah, I heard
Again?
another married
I mean, so the woman from New York done left and now
She
she got
been
another,
left.
yeah.
They ordered another one.
Her name was Ann, remember? She been left.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh,
Jesus.
in the morning.
She got me right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Pocono Tree Mayor and Council Work Session. We're gonna do a quick roll call. Councilman Holland,
Here.
Councilman Marshall, here. Councilwoman Downing,
Here.
Councilwoman Copley.
Present.
Thank you so much. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Ms. Matthews, we're gonna turn the floor over to you. Please speak clearly and concisely in the microphone.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I just want to go over a few things on the rates and fees, if we could just talk about those. One of the things we've noticed, with the log cabin, we're having a lot of people who are asking to rent and they'll pay the security deposit, but then they're not actually renting. So, and then there's people that are calling and wanting to actually rent. So then we're losing revenue by not being able to collect. And we're wondering if we can add a fee for not giving us proper notice or proper time, if they cancel the log cabin.
So why don't you just keep the security deposit?
That's-
We need to, that's something effective if they cancel,
Mhm.
keep said security.
Deposit,
What
okay.
If they don't give you a certain amount
What is your time?
of advance? notice?
So when someone makes an actual reservation, we give them 2 weeks from the date that they call and let them know to hold their spot, that you have 2 weeks from the date that we mail you, email you, was email most of the time, or when they come in to fill out the application. They have 2 weeks to pay the security deposit and return the application. They have 2 weeks from the date of their actual date of the event to pay the actual renters, the renter fee and the certificate of insurance. Sometimes we get people who will actually pay the security deposit to hold the date, but then we'll call the day before, hey, we haven't received, your payment. Oh, I went somewhere else. Can I get my security deposit back? But we've had multiple people that have called in and said, hey, is that date available? And we're like, nope, because that person has actually, the security deposit reserves that day. And then, like I said, you have 2 weeks from the date of your event to actually pay the rental deposit and pay the certificate of insurance. And we're just losing out on income when people do that, if they're not notifying us that they have selected another venue.
Do we have something in writing?
It is actually in the contract that you have 2 weeks in order to make sure that your date is held, we require that you have the security deposit. You have 2 weeks in. When we send it to you in email, we actually put in the email and we actually put 2 weeks and we put the date. And every time for everything that's 2 weeks, we put the date to notify them that this is what they have to actually make the rental payments. Mm-hmm.
Is the method of the security deposit.
Mm-hmm.
People are giving you all checks.
Checks, they do checks, credit cards, or cash.
It would be much better if people paid their security deposit via credit card. Now, if they end up having setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need the money.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember a couple years ago, there were some instances where the city had held on to security deposits, people did not show, it was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, I believe that there needs to be some type of portal for people to pay on. Versus just coming in here and giving their debit card. There needs to be some type of portal for them to pay the security deposit and the whole would be placed on their account.
Now, I'm gonna see, Melinda, has the website been updated where we can upload like the videos and stuff now? Like, can we actually get to it now? Okay. So what my hope is to do Google Forms and to do it that way so that we can actually put that on the website, but I need to see if that's gonna attach to the website.
But I also believe that we're making people pay out of the wazoo for insurance.
Mhm.
Insurance and a security deposit are basically the same thing, so it's not right
Mm.
that they're paying both
Mhm.
security deposit and insurance.
Insurance. So I think that was a legit thing where we had, they're requiring us for that building because someone is running it in case something happens to the building. It covers us and it covers the people that are renting it, the people that they have, like their party goers or whatever. So it's actually a increased protection in case if the log cabin catches fire or someone gets injured really bad, then it doesn't fall back on the city. So there is some type of insurance, but it's not on the insurance, the extra insurance is not on us. It's the extra certificate of insurance. So then it doesn't impact our policy and doesn't increase our rates.
Brandon, how much is the insurance?
It is $100.
And
Say that again.
$100.
so does that insurance have to be in place 2 weeks prior to the event to coincide with the drop dead date?
No, that we just but we will not hand over keys until we actually have that certificate of insurance.
So-
But
A solution might be, that I'll offer is require the insurance to be in place 2 weeks prior, close to that drop dead date. And that way, if it's not in place, it'll prompt a phone call at least. And that may alleviate some of the cancellations. That's just a suggestion. I don't know if that's the right answer.
because they can, up to 24 hours, they can go in and actually cancel the insurance.
Yeah, I mean, you would wanna know if they're gonna cancel at least 2 weeks ahead of time, so that if they do cancel, somebody else can
Mm-hmm.
potentially get in there.
I mean, but to me, you need some type of a clause.
Clause.
If you wait 24 hours
Hours.
prior to your event, then they're gonna lose some money. Out of whether that be the security deposit
Deposit.
or what. I mean,
They're gonna lose that.
they need to lose it.
Yeah.
Because if you wait right up to an event and then you cancel, there needs to be something in writing
Yep.
submitted to them, given to them, that whenever they fill out the application, whatever, and say, if you neglect and you wait until a day before your event, or whether you want it 24 hours or 72 hours prior to,
Mhm.
then you're gonna lose your deposit.
Deposit.
I think if you reach that 2 week mark,
That's what I think too.
The 2 week
I mean,
mark.
I was just throwing
Yeah.
it out sometime, you know.
Mhm.
yeah, when the balance is due, if, at that point, oh yeah, we're not gonna have it, then at that point you forfeit your
Yeah,
security
Deposit.
deposit.
yeah.
If they haven't got an insurance binder at that point, then the odds are they're not gonna do it anyhow.
Okay.
Just that.
I would just feel more comfortable. But if everything was automated,
Mhm.
everything go a lot smoother, because honestly, as soon as they book,
Mhm.
they should be purchasing that
Insurance.
insurance, and they should be paying their security deposit.
Where do they purchase the insurance from?
It's an outside
You
agency.
see.
Well, we could have that link right there for them as well.
Well, it's on the application for them to, and there's a venue code for them to use, so that's already there. What I might can do
Why
to,
do- why do
You're
we-
talking to,
Why do we give them so long to pay the security deposit? Why
well,
can't they pay it?
the
when they
security
reserve it?
deposit is supposed to be paid within 2 weeks of them saying, hey, this is the date that I want.
I think it should be due when we reserve.
When you reserve, okay.
But what y'all have to understand is, a lot of people will actually reserve on the phone
Mhm.
and then come in and handle their business.
Business.
Because they're run into situations where
They don't wanna come
they're
here.
calling to say, hey,
Mhm.
is it booked? And then the person that books says, no, it's not booked. Well, I need to book it. We do have, especially in our summer months,
Mhm.
we have a lot of people grabbing after the same date. So it's like, I call on the phone, you're on your way here,
Mhm.
I'm booking over the phone and you're coming in, right?
Yeah.
And then it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I would have, if somebody were to call in and say, hey, I'm gonna book on this date, they should be able to get there in that day's time. Yeah,
Or at least by the end of the week
avoid
or
it for the
something,
day or
like give them
for
2 days.
24
but not
hours
2
or.
weeks.
And that's why I'm saying I wish it were online.
If it were online, it would fall in the master calendar.
Right.
And boom, there we go.
Melinda,
So can,
I need to rent it
so
myself.
can, go ahead.
do you know where we are with updating the website?
And I've seen it update as the weeks have gone, but I don't know anything else.
Okay,
Well, I don't know if y'all noticed, but
thank you.
a link was sent out of the new website, and it wasn't sent to us.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It,
I didn't see.
it wasn't sent to us. But we can handle that at a later time. But can you please look for some sort of online software?
Mhm.
Or if it can be powered through the new website, because from the looks of the new website,
Mhm.
it's ready to go.
Right.
They just have to turn on the switch.
Yeah.
Where it can be powered through the new website for booking, even booking Cypress Park.
Even the
Pavilions.
the
or whatever.
pavilions and stuff that are non-fee, just to be able to reserve those,
Right.
that would be wonderful.
So you
And
can-
then if it's already booked, it's blacked out.
Mhm.
It won't let people select it, but then also putting on there, call City Hall to get placed on a wait list.
That's-
Or have a button that says to be added to the wait list.
Right.
And I think with the new website, I don't think we can do it with the one that we currently have in place, but I think with the new website, it links to our accounting software. So if they make a payment, it's automatically gonna go over. It's just like if you would make your water and sewer payment. I believe Civic Plus, I believe it works together. So that actually would be great once it's
What
updated.
happens if somebody doesn't have a credit card to use or whatever? Because some people don't.
Yeah, some people don't. So at that point, then they will have to come in. They're gonna have to come in and make a payment.
And when they do that, it means,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's a big portion of that, especially some.
Cause I think, cause it's just like, if somebody came in and paid their water bill, and they pay cash or they pay with check, that system still talks, it still talks. It's just like, even if you did it online, we still get the information. So if we can get the two systems, the website and the booking to talk, I think that would be great. And I'm not real savvy because I don't use it as much as Mike, Debbie, and Dan. It used to be called Intergo, but it's called EPL now. I believe rental, like log cabin, that type of stuff is there, and I think we can do it in there. So let me look into that. That's one of my things I wanted to talk to you guys about. The second thing, we are having a lot of, so we know that we have a water reconnection fee if someone's water is turned off, but we're having a lot of people where we're having them turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off because there is an issue. This is just rental private. So if there's an issue, we had one person, it was 6 times that we had to have someone to keep going back out there to cut it on, cut it off, cut it on, cut it off because there was an issue. And sometimes it's after the hours that our public works guys have gone home. Right now there is a fee to turn on, but should there be something in place with excessive turn on and turn off, especially when they have to be called out after hours?
In the event of an emergency, and, not having to be as heavy-handed.
Mhm.
And if it's, ongoing construction or customer or resident whims, then I think that's a different conversation.
We want to get in charging people for this, that,
Mhm.
and the other all the time, but why are they calling?
Because the plumber will not go, even though they can, the plumber will not turn on or turn off our water meters. But that's the real issue. It's when the plumber comes out, they call in, or either they call or they have a homeowner call and say, hey, can you have someone from your public works department to come turn it on or come turn it off? So it's the repeat of that, and it's because they will not go down and actually turn it off. It's not that they can't, it's just, I guess for them, and I guess they feel it's a liability, so they just don't. And they just rather for one of our public works guys to just go out to do it.
For the actor.
Or worse.
For instance. Regular business hours.
I don't know, I feel different because, I mean, if it's the plumber that
Mhm.
is requesting, I mean, I don't know.
It's hard. It's one of those, it's hard. Like I said, it was, that we've had a few people where it's been their repeats, and it has been after hours. And I say after hours because Public Works leaves before we do. So there we have that time difference between 3 and then 4:30. So when they're gone, and if the on-call person does not actually live in this area, they got to come all the way back to.
I think that this isn't necessarily a budget conversation.
Mhm.
I think that this falls in line with everything that we're gonna be rolling out soon.
Okay.
working on our contracts and liquor permit,
Mhm.
because the truth is, we do need our own liquor permit form that needs to come before this body, outside of the counties. So I think that all of this that we're talking about right now
Mhm.
needs to be grouped into that
That.
work session
Okay.
that we must have sooner rather than later, but not right now.
Okay.
Which will give you all time to formulate something. Ms. Matthews, you know, I wholeheartedly believe that if you all formulate it and you bring it to us, then we can make the changes that we feel need to be made, but something has to be formulated and on paper before we do that.
Okay.
We also need to see existing policy
Mhm.
and things like that. It's moving.
Okay. The last thing, because it's just occurred within the last within the last 24 hours, we've seen the shopping carts. There is something in the code with the municipal infraction. There is, and it does state, but in the bottom of our rates and fees, it does say if something is not listed in our rates and fee schedule, then it shall be subject to the general provision of subsection 1-18 of the Pocomo City Code. With that being said, I think that we probably need to include that fine for the shopping carts onto the fees and schedule. I think it needs to be placed so there's no gray area of someone saying, well, I did not know.
So I think the first suggestion, the first place we go is, what is your recommended fine or set of infraction?
So Chief, actually, I spoke to Chief before this meeting. They do have a fee schedule that he is supposed to provide to me. Based on the code, it cannot exceed $1,000. But there's a first offense and there's a first offense and a second offense. But I believe and it is a municipal infraction, not a city violation. It is actual municipal infraction. And I just believe that is something that should be placed onto the rates fee schedule.
Well, I don't disagree with you.
Mhm.
The reality is when someone has a municipal infraction,
Mhm.
more especially for something like this, what we know
Mhm.
is that if they are taking these cars and they're going to Walmart
Mhm.
because they don't have transportation to get over there,
Mhm.
right? We can't slap fines on people
Mhm.
that we already know don't have the means to pay them.
Mhm.
I know some people are gonna eat me up when they go back and watch this, quite frankly, I don't care. Human decency.
No, I agree with you, Todd, that, you know, we can't, and Councilman Cotton made the point last, when we talked about this in the prior session, that, you know, it's symptomatic of a problem. They're pushing, if they're bringing a shopping cart back to Walmart, it's not because they want to, it's because they have to. But possibly, you know, we could, you know, have some sort of warning, at least a warning, say, hey, this is, you can't do this. And if it continues, then maybe we seek other things. But, you know, we can't tax the people that can least afford to pay it.
Right, and so the first step to all of this, based on what the code actually says,
Mm-hmm.
every business in town that has shopping carts has to put up a sign alerting people, you cannot take this car off our
Yes.
property. If you take it off our property, it's going to be done. So until all of the businesses get those signs, it couldn't be
Of
enforced
course.
anyway.
But the fact of the matter is, it's still theft.
Right.
Mhm.
Right, I mean, there's no sign in the meat department that says I can't steal some fillets, but, it's still theft. And that's what it comes down to now. Robert Johnson, I believe the guy's name, is the head of loss control over at Walmart. He wasn't in today. But he'll be looped into this conversation. Hopefully we can address him and see what his remedies are. I think they're working on some stuff internally there.
I don't know how you all are gonna call it theft. I mean, if somebody schooled me, how are you gonna call it theft when the stores allow people to take the
We haven't
carts?
received any complaints from Walmart.
Right, so how you gonna say that these people
Watch it,
stole?
they'll call you pathetic online.
I really don't give a, I mean, I don't care.
Maybe
I'm asking the question
Question.
because
Well,
somebody else might ask the question,
Question.
somebody else is thinking that.
Yeah.
Okay, Diane,
So-
I understand
How
where
are you
you're
gonna
coming from.
say that
because-
they stole the carts when Walmart allows people to?
Well, I think if Walmart had their brothers, they'd rather they didn't leave the property, and I'm sure that Walmart has something in place in their code, just like we did, that I was unaware of. I'm sure they have something in their bylaws about that. The fact that they choose not to enforce it, I hope changes very soon.
They have, so this is my other thing, when we talk about them enforcing, they literally have cameras in there that can scan your grocery items on your way out of the door. If they truly wanted to enforce this problem, and keep in mind, we have to talk generally,
Mhm.
because Walmart is not our only business.
Right.
Mhm.
But if they truly wanted to enforce this issue, there is technology that they could utilize. Now, in my personal opinion, people are doing what they need to do to survive. When they roll those carts,
Mhm.
when I spoke to someone from Walmart this morning, she said, we don't want them to take the cards, but by the time we can catch them, we can't catch them.
Sure.
And I had to accept that, because, it's a thin line when we say theft is theft. I get it, right, in retrospect, but people aren't taking these carts for fun. It's not a case where they're taking them and saying, oh, I'm gonna, use this like a scooter. People are taking them because they have to get their groceries back and forth to home. Now, in my opinion, and I've said this before and people said I was wrong, but I know that I'm right. In my opinion, it lets us know that there is indeed a transportation issue in this town. Whether that means we have to start calling on the churches to do their part and do what they're supposed to do, and empower the total man by offering services to take people to the store. But again,
Mhm.
back on topic, before it is even enforced,
Mhm.
based on what our code says,
Says,
the stores that have shopping carts have to put a notice up, have to put a sign up that outlines exactly what the charter says. Once that's there, it can be enforced, but again, at what point, if an officer sees someone and gives them a ticket, gives them a municipal infraction, at what point what does the officer do after they give the person the infraction? Do they let the person continue with the car? There's no clear directive. Do they allow the person to continue with the car? Do they make the person take all of the items out of the car? And then do they have to return the car, or does the car go to impound and sit there? Is Walmart going to be responsible, or Lowe's going to be responsible, or Harbor Freight going to be responsible, or Family Dollar, or Dollar General, or Dollar Tree? Are they going to be responsible to then come and retrieve those cars? It is a loaded issue.
It is.
it is.
I cannot believe with all the issues that Pocomoke City has, shopping is taking up so much time. It is absolutely absurd, and it's something that we need to put to bed. We need to do it quickly, because quite frankly, I think it's We got a lot of other bigger fish to fry, and here we
Way
are,
bigger.
yeah.
Yes.
Here we are back to the shopping
Shopping
carts.
carts.
And I wish, and I wish wholeheartedly that, the community would become part of the solution instead of pointing fingers at Walmart and pointing fingers at us and pointing fingers at City Hall. I mean, this is a citywide problem, and we've got 4,400 residents of the city. It's gonna take all of them to fix this. So, I call on them, those that are listening now, to be part of the solution and not part of the problem.
And it's not only here, it's in every town. So
Mhm.
it's not
Yeah.
approvable.
Is it possible to create an ordinance that requires the stores to post that signage?
It's already.
It's-
So
already-
that's what.
It's already in the
that's
code.
what's in there.
Mhm.
I don't think, I assume, I shouldn't say. I think we approach them and say, put the signs up.
Right, so how do you, yeah.
Obviously,
Mm.
I'm that guy.
I think we should. Well, we appreciate your
We can
willingness.
send out notices,
I think we better send an official letter,
right,
but they do, before it's even enforced,
Mhm.
before there can be a municipal infraction or anything like that,
Mhm.
the signs have to be up. And again, this is not a brand new issue.
No,
For most
no.
people. I remember growing up as a kid, and we used to race in the meat land carts. One person would get on the inside, then somebody else would push them.
He started this.
Call it what you want.
But fun, yes.
It's your game,
Yeah,
right?
we were outside breathing in the fresh air. A kid would get inside the car, another kid would push the car. They'd have opponents, whether it be two more people, 4 more people, and we push them carts and we race and see who, and then we would even, the runner would even let the car go. That's a side.
Like soapbox races.
Yeah, just to see how far it goes. So this isn't a brand new issue,
Yeah.
because we had access to those carts back then.
Yeah.
The only difference now is, it's
Boys and
the
girls?
boys and girls did. Man, my cousin Whitney was tough. She played with us with dresses on.
It's just more of.
Yeah.
It's more of them, and it's being publicized.
So my question, it's not even so much, like the people taking the shopping carts. I'm actually speaking about the incident this morning. That person actually purposely placed those shopping carts there.
And got congratulated for it, they could have just
Well,
carried them right.
I thank you
Yes.
for doing that, because tomorrow, Eddie Marble from Walmart is scheduled to ride around town to pick them up.
I've already rode through. It's none out.
No.
It's none.
Well, there's a reason why there's none out.
But I'm happy that Eddie's gonna be
Yes.
here tomorrow, and I'll let him know that
Mhm.
we've got 24 out here for him to pick up, and he'll scoop them up tomorrow. And from there, we will continue to address this plague of our
Yes,
city,
yes.
this blight.
Our-
Is there any more pressing business than this?
We can move on to, abatements now.
Thank
Well,
you.
yes, we're done with, the rates and fees.
So we're gonna move on to the abatement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Council, you've had time to review the abatement list. The abatement list was provided to us on February 27th, 2025. The following list of real properties for which is being considered for abatement. The Taylor Avenue properties do not receive all city services. The Cypress Knee property is located on Market Street extended near Buchanan's. They were given annexation tax-free until the property is developed. The Bird Road property are small sections used to run the sewer lines to the YMCA. The Unionville Road property was annexed into the city for the new well, but was not purchased by the city. These taxes have been abated by the city for the past several years. James and Ida Cox, Oscar S. Proper, and Jeff Fetterman, James Reese, Robert and Annette Gardner, Ronnie Durham, FS Enterprises LLC, Charles Waldo, Cypress Knee LLC, Janet Blair, Eric Gomez, Bernard K. Leester, and Robert C. Troxell Senior. Looking over this, I believe this is the same list that we approved last year.
Mhm.
I think that we probably should choose this.
I agree.
Yep.
We're done tonight.
Yes, we are.
This might be what we are expecting for next week, going into next week. We need to see the full budget.
Yes.
We need you to email.
Yes.
We know that there was some technical difficulties.
Yes.
That's why I'm not screaming. at you.
Yes. I've actually sat down with everyone except for planning and zoning and EMS, which I will be doing that, Friday. No, Thursday and Friday. Hopefully have everything done Thursday. Now there will be, yeah,
First thing Friday morning.
yes.
Council, do you all want to wait 2 weeks before we reconvene with the total budget? Or do y'all want to go ahead and slide it in on Tuesday after the council? We don't have any more meetings this month.
No,
Do
no more
you all
meetings.
Wait 2 weeks?
Yes.
Just really give you time to look at
I
it.
will be here.
Brooke says yes, I'll go with you.
Right, so our next work session will be looking at the total budget. And we will be looking at the request for donations.
Yes,
Before we jump into the total budget.
okay.
Will that entail the donation people coming here?
Do you want them to come?
Well, that would be a lot for one night.
Bring them in?
You want them to come in?
Bring 'em
Okay.
in?
I have had Kara, reach out to them. No, we have not. So I've actually had Kara reach out to some of the ones that we had last year, that have not submitted anything yet. So hopefully in the next couple days, I will get something. If not, they won't be listed on the budget. Or if you would like, I can just list what we had last year and then we'll go from there.
So just keep in mind that the date is April the 8th, so Ms. Tall will be a part of the body.
Yes.
At that point. So we will have 5 people.
Cool. So what I'm gonna do, six people. So what I'm gonna do, because it's gonna be so large, it will not be paper. It will be an Excel file that I send to you, because it will be.
Oh.
You want paper?
That's still like,
Y'all
I like to
take
see
it.
paper.
Y'all better take it to Kinko's, Best Buy, somewhere.
So, yeah, I am gonna have to take it, because if I print it the way it is now, it's gonna be so small, you're not gonna be able to see it.
Oh, no.
So,
That was last year.
yes, it was so small, you're not gonna be able to see it. So you're gonna need some room to, how many years do you wanna see? I have 3
We
years,
wanna see the past, we wanna see 2 years.
2 full years, 2 years prior, and then the current year. And,
20, we wanna see 25, 24,
mhm,
and now 25, 24, 24, 25, and proposed for 26.
got it.
That's just curious, as it sits right now, do we have money budgeted for streets and sidewalks?
I do.
Yes, that's what I was just telling you.
Yes.
Well, we make sure.
Could we do it at 7:30?
Could be after.
I ain't gonna be here all night long, I'll
It's
tell
gonna
you
be
that
after
right
the
now.
council meeting, so whatever.
No,
They
no,
go-
No, 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 the
It's
next
on
day.
7.
Yes,
Okay, this will be on Tuesday.
Yes.
yes, it'll be on Tuesday, it'll be on the same week as the council.
Okay.
That was
And
checking.
we'll just be getting it, so we'll have the total budget already, but y'all know we're not gonna go through the whole thing.
Mhm.
So 7:30 on Tuesday?
We do hours of power, so it's only gonna be an hour on Tuesday. After that hour is up, we're done, we'll reconvene the next week.
And we're starting at 7:30?
7, 8.
See y'all.
I can do 7.
7.
I'll be here at 7.
If not, I'm just gonna stay on that half hour, don't matter.
You just bring both.
I mean, but, so what?
You just bring both.
Okay, so an hour of power
Mhm.
on April the 8th. Go ahead and bring, so really we'll just be, for the most part, we'll be hearing from, our people that are asking for donations.
Okay.
If they don't come,
Has
they're
Marvin,
not getting
has
it.
Marvin reached out?
I don't-
Marva has not reached out.
Yes, they have.
He was one of the ones that I had Kara, reach out to.
Have to have a good excuse, I mean.
The one when I saw was
sometimes
called.
Things happen.
I think he's on my team.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Colston,
Sturgis.
life
He's
life
just-
crisis,
Last time.
Sturgis, one room. I've actually talked to her.
We got,
Samaritan Shelter, Della's Closet, and the Cricket Center. well, it's not, it won't be the Cricket Center anymore. It will be, what is it, Worcester County?
Well, I understand,
Child
so maybe
advocacy.
maybe this conversation is best suited for the next meeting. I would appreciate y'all's cause if we're throwing a shout out to us, in concerns with the food bank, but I don't think citizens really realize that the city is funding.
No, but I'll tell you who does, is, I thought it was a yard sale, I didn't know they were doing it, so I stopped by there the other day. And, they were very thankful for what the city does for them. Mr. Nordstrom came up and thanked me, the pastor from the church came up and thanked me for what we do for them.
And personally, I think that we should keep on doing that. Now, I did see some comments about us, only giving this American shelter $1,500, but guess what? It doesn't matter how we do it. What matters is that we're doing it.
Mhm.
And we understand that we understand that people are on. That's the beautiful thing about this, is we've always been able to jump in and be willing to jump in.
It was really cool to see that donation that we made to Dallas Closet and to see them utilized properly. And they gave away 125 meals, bags of food, in no time. To the needs out there, and those guys did a wonderful job.
Ask when you make contact with them,
Mhm.
ask the people that have asked us for donations
Mhm.
to provide their financials.
Okay.
We gotta get back to doing that. We have to look at that, and they need to provide them to you as soon as possible, so that you can look over them. Cause everybody here, what the business major like me, Scott,
Mhm.
you know. CO, what was your major in college?
Sportsman.
We had to think about it for a minute.
I was thinking about
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, use the sound aye.
Aye.